Chapter 4: Tissues, the living fabric. What are tissues? Tissues are two or more cells working together for a similar function. Histology is the study of tissues. There are four basic types of tissues. Epithelial cover surfaces and lines cavities. Examples of this are skin and inside of mouth. Connective connect other tissues, support and protect various structures. They act as glue and hold things together. Muscle contract to provide movement. And nervous store information and conduct impulses. They carry nervous messages. There are two major types of epithelial tissues: cover surfaces and lines cavities, and glandular epithelium. Functions of epithelial tissues: it protects from foreign invaders, absorbs nutrients, filters blood to produce urine, excretion of waste, and sensory reception. Characteristics of epithelial tissues: cellularity, meaning it's made mostly of cells. Cell junctions stick cells together. Tight junctions are waterproof connection between cells. Anchoring junction is a really strong connection between cells. Polarity, meaning it has two different sides: an apical surface, which is the free surface, and a basal surface, which is attached. Attachment or basement membrane has basal lamina, which is glycoproteins and glycolipids that project from the cell's surface. Reticular lamina keeps them stuck together. Avascularity, meaning no blood vessels. Innervated, can have nerve endings. And high generation capacity, meaning it continues to grow to replace damage. Classification scheme: simple is one layer and stratified is more than one layer. Cell shape: squamous is flattened. Cuboidal is cube-shaped. And columnar is column-shaped. Simple squamous is found in kidneys, lungs, heart vessels, serous membranes, and blood vessels. Endothelium is the inner covering inside heart and blood vessels, and mesothelium is the middle covering. It lines cavities that the lungs sit in. Simple cuboidal is found in kidney tubules and glands. It secretes and absorbs materials. Simple columnar can be ciliated or non-ciliated. If it has cilia, it's found in the respiratory and reproductive tract. If it's non-ciliated, it's found in the digestive tract. Pseudostratified columnar looks like it's more than one layer, but it's not. It's simple tissue. If ciliated, it's found in the trachea. If it's non-ciliated, it's found in sperm. Stratified squamous is the tissue that makes up the skin. It's lots of layers. It's keratinized, which means it's a protein called keratin that makes it tough and waterproof. If it's non-keratinized, it isn't waterproof. It's found inside mouth, anus, and vagina, and it resists abrasion. Transitional is more than one layer. It's bumpy on top. It's found in the bladder and uterus. It's stretchy and really waterproof. Glandular epithelium is one or more cell that secretes a particular product, such as proteins and lipids and steroids. Classification of glands: endocrine don't have ducts. They secrete product directly into the bloodstream. Examples are pancreas, testes, ovaries, and thyroids. Exocrine have ducts. Example is a goblet cells. Merocrine, the cell that secretes product by exocytosis, and holocrine, which cell blows up with product and dies. There are four main categories of connective tissue: blood, bone, cartilage, and connective tissue proper. Characteristics of connective tissue: a common origin, degree of avascularity, extracellular matrix, and scattered cells, which is the stuff outside of the cell. Ground substance plus fibers equals extracellular matrix. Ground substance is the jelly-like glue and adhesion proteins attached to the cell matrix. Fibers: strong and tough. Collagen fibers are strong fibrous proteins. Elastic fibers are stretchy like a rubber band. And reticular fibers are made of collagen and have lots of branches. Structural elements of the connective tissues: cells. There's permanent cells which are stuck in the connective tissue. Examples are fibroblasts, cells that make fibers. Adipocytes store lipids. Chondroblasts make cartilage. Osteoblasts make bone. and hemopoietic stem cells turn into blood cells. Accessory cells wander in and out and through the connective tissue. There are white blood cells, which are immune system components. Plasma cells make antibodies. Mast cells release histamine and blood thinners, and macrophages are the eating machines. They perform phagocytosis. Connective tissue proper, there's loose connective tissue. There's three types. Areolar tissue is collagen and elastic fibers. It's located beneath the skin. Its function are to cushion organs, and its structures are collagen fibers, elastic fibers, and adipocytes. Adipose tissue is located around kidneys and breasts. Its function is to insulate and protect, and its structure is adipocytes, fat droplets, and nucleus. Reticular connective tissue is located in lymph organs. Its function is structural support. Its structure is reticular fibers and lymphocytes. Connective tissue proper, there's two types. Dense regular connective tissue is collagen fibers all going in the same direction to make the structure really strong. It's found in tendons and ligaments. Dense irregular connective tissue is collagen fibers running all different directions so you can resist abrasion. Cartilage is in between dense connective tissue and bones. It's tough but also really flexible. Characteristics of cartilage are avascular, no nerves, have lots of water, and widely scattered cells. Types of cartilage, there's hyaline cartilage. This is the most abundant cartilage. It forms nose. It's found on the ends of bones, which is articular cartilage, and it has lots of collagen fibers. Then there's elastic cartilage, has lots of elastic fibers. It's good for stretching, and it makes up the ear and epiglottis. Then there's fibrocartilage, which is large, abundant collagen fibers. It's found in the meniscus of the knee and intervertebral disc. Bone has lots of collagen in it, lots of blood vessels, and has calcium salts. Blood has a cell matrix and carries oxygen and fights foreign invaders. Types of membrane, there's cutaneous membrane, which is skin, epithelial tissue, and it's waterproof and tough. Then there's mucous membrane, which is wet, found in body cavities that are open to the exterior, such as the digestive tract, respiratory tract, and urinary tract. Epithelial tissue, not keratinized, is stratified squamous epithelium. Types of epithelial membrane. Serous membrane is found in cavities not open to the exterior. It's wet, visceral and parietal, pericardium and pleura. Simple squamous epithelium connected to areolar. Functions of the nervous tissue. It transmits signals across the body, coordinates body functions. Characteristics are it responds to change, and cell types are neurons, which are basic cells, and supporting cells, neuroglial. Functions of muscle tissue. It contracts to move the skeleton, contracts to move stuff through the GI tract, and contracts to move blood through vessels. Muscle tissue characteristics, excitability and irritability, contractility, extensibility, and elasticity. Types of muscles are cardiac, found around the heart, one nucleus, striated, and involuntary. Then there's skeletal, which is attached to the muscle and is striated, usually has multiple nuclei, and is voluntary. Then there's smooth muscle tissue, which has no striations and is found around visceral organs. Inflammation gets stuff ready for tissue repair. There's redness and heat, which means more blood is flowing to that area. It produces swelling and pain. Then there's organization, which restores the blood supply to that region. It does this with granulation tissue. It calls the fibroblasts to the region to start laying down fibers. Regeneration is epithelium that is cut up starts to regrow again, and fibrosis is the formation of scar tissue.